Welcome to an episode of My02cent. My name is My02cent, and I'll be giving you My02cent. I think my last live video didn't hold. Um, to recap, I'm currently attending school at Full Sail, and when I arrived here, I informed the security that I didn't have a place to stay, and because I have an eviction on my record, the school didn't provide me with housing. So I'm currently trying to save up to be able to pay for that housing. So every day when I got here for like 2 months, Full Sail security would flash their lights at me, or they would either flash their lights at me, or they would use their horns and their sirens to keep me up and just make my life difficult for no reason. And I tried being respectful at first. I tried to ignore it, communicate. Yeah, I'll apologize for whatever inconvenience. I'm homeless. I don't know where to go right now. I constantly got reassured. Yeah, you're fine. It's not a big deal. But they never stopped the tactic. All throughout the night, they would just keep me up, keep flashing their lights at me, park, and make sure their lights were flashing and that I couldn't sleep, or that they were, if I would ignore the lights, then the sirens would come on. So I started covering my car, and then and that wasn't enough for them to stop. They just continued. So I confronted them. Hey, cut that shit out. It's all recorded. Like, I don't have to lie or exaggerate. It's all recorded. Hey, cut that shit out. Leave me the fuck alone. I don't appreciate you guys coming over here harassing me and keeping me up. Like, I need to be able to get paid through the school to save the money I need to get out of my eviction, to pay off my eviction so I can get a place. Like, just all I need is a little bit of time. Just chill out with all of that unnecessary foolishness. They didn't care. They just doubled down. The security and the police just doubled down. I contacted the school, communicated my conflict with them. Like, hey, I need your security guards to like stop harassing me. Quit parking in front of me, staring at me all night. Quit flashing your lights at me all night. Quit, like, you're waking me up. You're keeping me up. If I can't sleep, I can't do my assignments. If I can't do my assignments, I can't make my grades. If I can't make my grades, then I can't get my basic housing allowance through the GI Bill. You're just making this hard, and it needs to be. I only need a couple of months. I've been out here for probably about 4 months now because they made the process harder than it needs to be, and it costs money for me to make money. So by them not respecting me, they made it more difficult. It's not their fault that I'm in my situation, but I'm making it harder than it needs to be. So they responded with, well, you were being aggressive and hostile to our security agents and our police officers, so we had to go out of our way to de-escalate the situation because you were being unnecessarily aggressive toward us, and we made you leave because we wanted to, de-escalate the situation. And I'm looking at them, thinking in my head, like, how are you de-escalating? If I'm asleep and you're waking me up with your lights, how is that a de-escalation? That's what I'm thinking to myself. So I left, even though I'm in full rights. I'm not being arrested. I'm not being charged with anything. I don't have any, I don't have a criminal record, so I'm in full right. But they're not gonna stop. They're gonna keep running my plate every day. They're gonna keep looking at me suspiciously because of my skin complexion, and they're gonna keep making my life difficult because they just want to see me as somebody that is homeless first instead of seeing me as someone that is a student first. So I left. I didn't have nowhere to go. I don't have any friends or family or anyone local in this part of Florida to be able to fall back on. So I left. So after I leave, I left for about a good month or two. I found a place to stay. Again, all this information is on my channel. You can just go back into my history and see for yourself. About a week ago, And a week from this present, one of the other officers in the region, because this is Orange County, one of the officers in the region, he comes over and he's like, yeah, we got a call from, he's like, I'm not really trying to mess with you or nothing. I'm just wanting to know if you're okay, if you need anything. And I'm like, no, I'm fine. You can go away, officer. You leave me alone. It's all recorded. Oh, I'm just, we're just doing a health and wellness call. The property owner said they don't want you in their property and you need to leave. And I'm like, well, I don't have nowhere to go. I just need a couple more months to be able to fix my finances and get out of my current situation. I'm attending school at Full Sail and they ran me off of the property over there. He's like, well, that sucks, whatever. Just give me your emergency contact information and all your other information so that you'll be good, and I'll just leave you alone. And then he comes back after he runs my plates and he's like, hey, you got a out-of-state ID or whatever? And I'm like, yeah, here, it's from Michigan. He's like, oh, you're good. I'm like, here. He's like, oh, I need to take a picture of you too. And then he texts my mother's emergency contact info. And he's like, well, I'm not gonna tell you not to be careful or nothing. I can see that you're fairly big and you can take care of yourself. So, just do what you got to do to be all right. And then that's about it. So then he leaves, right? So I'm sitting in my car like, I'm on somebody's property that isn't doing anything for me. I'm by definition trespassing. So like, why the fuck am I even over here? Why am I on this? Like, yeah, there's nothing going on. There's plenty of space. I can just chill in my car. It's not a big deal. There shouldn't be a problem. But I'm literally trespassing on somebody's property because I'm a full-time student at the damn school. But you got me down the fucking street on some random ass piece of plot of land because you can't recognize that you have a student that is a student first and homeless second. What kind of world do we live in 2024 that you can't figure that shit out? You can't figure that shit out. You get so much money from us that you can't make the transition from me coming from where I am to where I'm going to put money in your pocket to ensure adequate housing for your students. Why the fuck does your students have to, the money that the government gives the institution to educate me is not being used for me to have a place to live. But that same money is not being put in my pocket for me to better myself. And every fucking day, this school security guards and police officers look at me and like, we're gonna make that fucking nigger a criminal so we can run him off our property and then we can go to bed justified and happy about what we did and feel good about ourselves. For fucking what in 2024? For what? For fucking what? Because I can't get the money from the goddamn government so I can take care of myself, but I have to entertain this bullshit ass system so I can go get a bullshit ass education so that I can possibly get a bullshit ass job to just continue to be sitting in my bullshit ass car because I can't afford to pay this unnecessary ass rent. For fucking what? And the only thing I'm asking you to do is, hey, recognize that I am a person and an individual that is doing what I am supposed to do by the standards made by a society that I did not agree to, and leave me the fuck alone. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm expecting. That is it. I'm not on welfare. I'm not out on the street corner begging nobody for no money. I'm not doing any of that shit. I'm clean shaved. I'm taking care of myself as best as I can in my situation. I'm actively engaged in a retarded ass system that I don't even fucking agree with. And I'm going to work at Arby's like I was doing before I even came down here, so that I can make a grade, so I can get a sheet of paper that says that somehow I'm a better member of society. But through this whole struggle, because of my skin complexion, I have to be treated like shit every fucking day. Every fucking day. I'm in a class, I'm sitting in the building in a class, and the police pull up on me outside of the building and staring at me. For fucking what? I park over there, I park here, I park right there, security guard frustrating my life with lights. I park over there, security guard and police frustrating my life with lights. Frustrating my life with their sirens every day. And you know what they do? They all get together collectively and say, this is the story we're going to tell about what he was doing and why we had to engage him. When all I'm doing is in my car laughing and joking and watching YouTube videos, chilling and living life. being as content and as humble as I possibly can be in a corrupt-ass Christian society. This is the foundation why I'm not a fucking Christian. Because I'm doing everything I'm supposed to do, but I'm still being targeted and profiled into being the stereotypical Negro that they expect me to entertain and be, so that they can say, yeah, we saved the day again. You didn't save shit. Just because you can lie on paper and process that shit through a corrupt system and not get questioned for it doesn't make you right. It makes you a racist piece of shit. That's what it makes you. And it is not my fault as a citizen that the government won't give me the $70,000 for me to start my fucking company that I need to be prosperous, that I have to give it to an institution that has no accountability and no responsibility to ensure that the service that they're providing is provided. And what I mean by that is the educational system is not mandated to ensure that I graduate. They make money whether we pass or fail. And that is a broken ass system. It is the only institution in this country that doesn't have to provide a service and can still be paid. Make that shit make sense in 2024. How do you still get paid if I don't make grades in a society and in a system where they can just exaggerate and lie? They can just exaggerate and lie on paper, and everybody just pretends like it doesn't happen. And when you're in your 20s and in your 30s and you don't understand the way the world works and you get subjected to this shit, you spend the rest of your life struggling because of it. The same people that you walk past and drive by on the streets, there is a very good chance that they were doing the same thing that I'm trying to do right now, and they were unsuccessful for the same reasons. And now they're still stuck on the goddamn street because they just wasn't left the fuck alone. They wasn't allowed to just be active members of society and contribute the way that they chose to contribute, and said, fuck you and your system and your lies and your deceptions. I'm not going to be a part of that. And the people that were in a position of authority that were corrupt and unjust were like, fine, if you don't want to be a part of our system, if you don't want to be a part of our problem, if you don't want to go out there and make other people's lives miserable like we are, then you can go fucking be the thing that we are afraid of ourselves. You can go be homeless. You can go out and live on the street. You can learn how to be humble and respect God and recognize that you are being too proudful and you need to submit and do things that are out of character for you and lower your own standards in society so that you can contribute to the bullshit that nobody wants to be a part of. And I put my foot down and I say bull fucking shit. And every fucking night I will record the security guards disrespecting me every fucking night, and I will record the police coming over here every fucking day disrespecting me, trying to get a rise out of me so that they can arrest me for resisting fucking arrest in 2024. And every day it's going to affect my ability to make my grades and pass my classes when I have to go to school. It is 5 o'clock in the morning. I have classes at 9 and I work at Arby's at 2 p.m. And I won't get off of Arby's until 11:30 or 12 o'clock tonight. And when I pull up in my goddamn car and park right there, I'm going to have security swarming around me like I'm some fucking homeless dude that isn't doing anything with his fucking life and is out here shooting up heroin and smoking crack and masturbating. And the shit is fucking ridiculous. It's fucking ridiculous. Because there's only so much humility a person can bring to the same fucking disrespect. I came here in April. Around April or May is when I started classes, and they're still treating me the same fucking way. And every time I double down on leave me the fuck alone, they double down on we're gonna fuck up your life. We're going to win this conflict that doesn't even exist. And I sound like the crazy person. I sound like the guy that's ranting and raving for no fucking reason. I sound like the person that is unhinged because those are the tactics that they talk about all the goddamn time on the internet. And anytime anybody stands up and says anything about it, the first thing you say is, well, what are you doing wrong, Paul? What exactly is it that you're not saying? Or what is exactly that is it that you're hiding that we don't know that has you in the position that you're in? And to that I say, everybody in life has dealt with bullshit. The capacity for you to know that you have dealt with bullshit should be sufficient evidence for you to understand that I am standing in opposition to my bullshit.
So why don't you just acknowledge that there's literally nothing wrong with me and that there's literally nothing going on in my fucking life, and leave me the fuck alone so I can do what I need to do? Because you're not trying to help me. Nobody is trying to give me $4,000 so that I can go get an apartment. But I'm actively engaged in taking care of that shit. It just takes time. Force over distance through time is power. It just takes time. It just takes planning. It just takes patience. It just takes humility. It takes the capacity to do what you were. It takes for me to do what is expected of me and be reciprocated the way that I was told that I would be reciprocated, so that I can have good sound plans and objectives and manifest the things that I'm trying to manifest and actualize my reality. But if I go to Arby's for 14 fucking days and work and they don't give me any fucking money, then what am I supposed to fucking do? Then what am I supposed to do? Because they didn't give me any goddamn money. So they didn't meet me halfway. They didn't do what is expected of me to meet me half fucking way. So now here I am. I did everything I'm supposed to do, but now Arby's is not going to keep up their end of the bargain, right? In this hypothetical. So how do you function in that type of society? How do you get anywhere in life? And then if we run to each other and we communicate to each other, this is what's going on, but it's happening to you too, and you're like, well, when that happened to me, I just went on ahead and took my L. Well, for what? For fucking what? Like, what does it benefit me to take a fucking L if I tell you I'm going to come to work for you and you don't pay me? How is that okay? If I tell you that I'm going to do this, and in exchange of me doing this, you promise to do that, and I keep up my end of the bargain, but you don't keep up your end of the bargain, how is that okay? And why does everybody in this fucking country think that, well, I suffered, so you should suffer? Well, I endured, so you should endure. Well, I was able to rise up and overcome, so you should be able to rise up and overcome. At the benefit of who? At the benefit of who? These same fucking police officers that are looking at me like I'm in my car doing fucking drugs are literally going to bars and doing fucking drugs while they stand in a position of authority to pass judgment on a sober person. But I have to prove that I'm right and they're wrong when all their buddies are sitting around with documents and sheets of paper agreeing on this is what happened, this is what he did, this is what he said, this is what's going on, this is how it works. When I was in the military, this is a straight up true fucking story. Straight up true fucking story when I was in the Army. Cause I don't pull punches on nothing. That's the reason why people hate me is because I'm honest. You don't want to hear the truth? Stay the fuck away from Paul Emerson. Because you should be capable of being able to handle the fucking truth. If you can't handle the truth, you're a fucking child in society. The only people that can't handle the truth are children. So if you can't handle the truth, you are useless to the world. You are useless to the world because you can't contribute anything helpful if you can't recognize the fundamental truth. When I was in the Army, when I was being trained as a private, PV2, I've never deployed. I've never been downrange. I've never seen active combat. I've never seen active duty. I was beneficial enough to never actually have to actually go into combat. I want to make this clear so that y'all won't be coming back at me later like, oh, this bullshit. He's talking about how he was in the Army. Yes, I literally served as active duty in the Army. I just simply never got the orders, which is beyond and outside of my control, to go downrange. Now, when I was doing training exercises at JBLM, I was a 9-2 Golf. I was sent to Yakima to do training exercises. And pay very fucking close attention because the bullshit that I'm about to explain in the military is why I'm calling their asses out. Pay very close fucking attention. Take some goddamn notes. When I was in JBLM, I got orders. Hey, we're gonna send you to the field with this other unit, and then your unit's gonna come after you. So I went to the field with this other unit. Me and one of my battle buddies, we went to this field with this other unit. We were there for a couple of weeks, serving outside of our own unit. Everything was chill. Everything was fine. It was just standard issue military bullshit. Nothing out of the ordinary. About a weekend, no, I'm sorry. After about maybe 3 weeks, my unit shows up, right? Hey, what's going on, Sergeant? Staff Sergeant, what's going on, Sergeant? You know, we all hooked back up. It's been a while. The leadership always pissing off the 92 Golfs. Always fucking with us all the goddamn time. At first, when I first got there, I didn't understand the animosity. But as I got to really seeing what was going on, it sinked in. Now, mind you, I'm a PV2. I'm 35 at this time, 35 years old. I've been in this country all my fucking life. I've seen all of the bullshit. I know how all of the bullshit works. 35 years of age. Pay very close attention to what I'm about to tell you, because this shit actually happened. They pissed off my chain of command so fucking much. They started peeing in the eggs. My unit, now mind you, I've been in the field for more than 3 weeks, and I've seen normal fucking military operations in the military, in the army. The eggs that we served, I watched specialists and PFCs and sergeants urinate in the fucking eggs and laugh and joke and bitch and moan and whine and complain about the way that they were being treated by the other units. Because remember, I just got into the military. I hadn't seen it all yet. I didn't know what to expect or what I needed to understand. I watched them urinate in the fucking eggs. My leader, the person that I'm supposed to report to every fucking day and has absolute control over my life, had a fucking bag of dehydrated ass eggs with his dick in it, pissing in them. I'm a 35-year-old African American that has been in the army for maybe 3 months. How the fuck do I go to first sergeant or to a commander and communicate this shit in any meaningful, realistic way? How? Make that shit make sense real quick. There's only 2 options right now. I'm a fucking crazy person, or I'm telling you the goddamn truth. They peed in the eggs. And you know what they did? Every leader that they liked, they let them know, don't eat the fucking eggs today. Don't eat the eggs today. So those of you out there in the military that know, when you're in the field and you got that statement, hey man, those eggs, don't eat them today. Don't eat those eggs today. You know what I'm talking about. You know what the fuck I'm talking about. And the only reason why I'm even saying this shit is because I'm being fucking harassed every goddamn day by an institution. And I'm getting tired of it. I'm getting fucking tired of it. There's only so much humility that a person can manage and handle on a day-to-day basis when they're trying to do things correctly and be honest in society. There's only so much bullshit that I can put up with, right? There's only so much bullshit that I can deal with on a day-to-day basis. I'm trying everything I need to do to be the best version of myself every goddamn day in opposition to Christianity. And when you see me, hey, welcome to My 2 cent. My name is Paul Emerson, and I'll be giving you My 2 cent. This is what I'm thinking about in the back of my fucking head. Every fucking time I turn my camera on. How do I communicate that my leadership peed in eggs and fed it to other people? And then you sit there and you think, like, you hear me say the words and you say, that doesn't even make any sense. That doesn't even sound fucking right. I'm in an institution that murders fucking people. If I'm surrounded by people that can end other people's lives, why wouldn't they pee in some goddamn eggs and laugh and joke about it and have a good merry old time about it with their friends when they're being treated like shit every fucking day? When that is the only thing that they can fucking do. When that is the limitation of their control over their own lives. Why wouldn't that shit happen? And y'all know that it's fucking true because you experience it as a microcosm from the time you turn 18 to the time you turn 21, to the time you turn 25, to the time you turn 30, to the time you turn 35, to the time you turn 40. If you are a rookie ass white cop on the fucking beat, just like training day, and you're surrounded by fucking corruption, and you're telling people, hey, this is not the way we do things. I don't think that what we're doing to these African Americans is okay or justified. And you're being treated like fucking shit. You're being shit on, disrespected, detained, put on the worst possible jobs, every fucking day because you have a strong moral and value system, and you can't communicate how you feel because it's been made clear to you by all of the other police officers around you how you're supposed to fucking feel. By the time you stop being a 19 or 20-year-old rookie ass cop and you transition to 25 or 30, you already know how society views people that look like me with my status, and you just go with the fucking flow so that you don't have to be homeless on the goddamn street every night. So that you don't have to have the guy sitting next to you put a bullet in your head and file the necessary paperwork every fucking day. That's what you fucking do. We call it corruption. We call it institutional racism. We call it a lot of fucking things, but at the end of the day, it's still going to be bullying, and it's always going to be wrong, and there's always going to be somebody that's going to say, I'm not about to put up with your shit. And in every government on this planet, when you refuse to be in compliance with a broken fucking system, the system breaks you. And the first thing that we do because of the fucking media is we ask the question, well, what did they really do? What did they really do? I hear what they're saying happened, but what really happened? If you would have had seen on the news black men shot in the parking lot of Florida and saw that car with the covers over it, with the towels over it, the first thing you would have asked yourself is, well, what did he really do? Maybe he was doing drugs. Maybe he was mentally unstable. What did he really do? I don't believe that the security guards was just harassing him every day for no fucking reason. Maybe he was schizophrenic and he saw them doing things that wasn't actually happening. What really happened? And sometimes what really happened is the goddamn truth. African Americans in this country statistically are arrested more than anybody else because it's all founded on false accusations, bullshit ass charges, and corruption, just like they tell you it is in all of the movies and all of the storylines and all of the times you've heard your parents talking over when you were young, listening to their bullshit that didn't even make sense to you when you were a kid. All of that shit is true. 100% unadulterated truth every fucking day. And the only thing that nobody fucking cares about is that Emerson has maintained more than a 90% GPA. The only thing people care about is, yeah, when he was taking programming 1, he didn't fucking pass because the school's not teaching me shit. They're not responsible to teach me programming. They look at the class, they look at the demographics, and they say, we're going to make sure that the black people fail, and we're going to make sure that the white people succeed so that we can maintain the demograph. The demograph's artificial. It's not that African Americans are somehow less intelligent than anyone else. It's not that Asians are more intelligent than anyone else. The teachers are doing the same fucking job. They are watching their leaders, the deans and the principals, pissing eggs, and they're sitting around looking like, I don't want to eat the pissy ass eggs. I don't want to do that. Why would I want to eat the pissy ass eggs? And so they know what is expected of them. They know what is expected of them. So they're like, not everybody can pass. We will make sure Emerson fails. We will say everything we need to say. We will process all the necessary paperwork. We will not help him. We will not give him the resources that he needs. We will say that we helped him. We will say that we gave him the resources that he needs. But when this 42-year-old African-American male fails programming, it's because he simply is not smart enough. It is not our fault that he is not smart enough to program. But the real reason why I dropped out of programming 1 isn't because I can't do it. It's because there's no reason for me to program. Programming is fucking dead. Large language models like ChatGPT are going to replace that entire programming industry. There will be no more entry-level programmers in society. Programming is dead. We will be taught a new skill set once the institutions fall into compliance and update their system. The same way that an operator was an actual human being, predominantly female, that you would call and you would give her the number that you're trying to reach, and she would physically unplug your phone line and physically plug your line into your connected call, right? The operator, do some research, because I know some of y'all are kind of young. The first operators were actual humans women, you would call the number you were trying to call. It would take you to the switchboard. No, I think you would call the switchboard. That's what like 411 and all that stuff is. You would call the switchboard. She would answer the phone and she would say, what number are you trying to call? You would give her your number. She would physically unplug your phone and plug your phone into the connecting line and push a button to connect you to that person. That was the very first operators. That industry lasted for about maybe 3 to 6 months, let's say year tops, before they were replaced with the automation of computers being able to do that operation itself. The term computer used to be given to human beings that were master mathematicians. They were master mathematicians and they would manually do large whole-scale calculations. It was just a normal thing back in the day. They got replaced with computers. And society is so, I don't know what the word is, but they didn't even waste time hiding it. They took the human title of computer, which was a job that somebody was doing to provide for themselves and their family, and they literally attached it to the automation system of a digital electronic device that we use every day as a computer. So if we've already seen these things happening in the past, why do we bullshit ourselves and believe that it's not going to happen in the present? We've already seen how many times technology evolves and technology advances and how it disrupts and displaces the world. And then we say, oh, it'll never happen. ChatGPT will never get good enough to be able to replace human beings. It'll never happen. 2 years ago, we said artificial intelligence will never happen. Computers will never be advanced enough to ever be able to pass the Turing test. They will never be able to make it to a level high enough where you can have a real-time communication with them. Yeah, they could simulate a conversation, but they can never actually simulate any level of cognition or make any level high sentient sapient capacity to make sound and rational decisions on any level that will ever be meaningful. And now ChatGPT spits out actual full-fledged codes, full-fledged programs. It just does it in a second, like that. You prompt it, it executes. If it gives you a broken code, you explain what's broken, it apologizes for its errors, and then it recompiles it and executes. It just does it. I was passing my classes. It's passing them. But you know what the school did? They gave us broken code. Our lessons were broken. Because if they understood that we're using large language models, so they gave us broken codes. If you gave them a code that worked with a broken code, they knew that you were cheating. Because they know that the code won't work. But ChatGPT is advanced enough that it can help you fix the code. And once it helps you fix the code, then it knows that they know that you potentially have been, they can't detect that shit. You think that they're advanced enough to be able to tell the difference between a code written by a human being and a code written by a machine? They can't. There's no way to tell the difference because the code has to just work. It has to just work. There's no way for them to know. If you have to define things in a certain way, the computer, listen, I turned in my first assignment, the one that was fucking broken. I turned that shit in, not fucking broken. And they knew immediately, like, yeah, this guy, he not only did he turn in an assignment with a code that was broken, he fixed our code. He went in and made the necessary adjustments to our code so that so his program would run the way we expected it to. It just generated the errors that they expected it to generate. So they gave me my score. They gave me a 97 for successfully completing the class. But then they recognized that the only way that a novice person with no experience in programming could solve this problem and turn in this homework is that he used ChatGPT to do it. But what they're not thinking about is, why aren't we just teaching students how to use ChatGPT to write codes? Why are we wasting their time teaching them something that is obsolete? Why haven't we just updated our own internalized system to make it more compatible with the introduction to the technology that is about to displace the very industry that they're spending money that we're spending money to be taught how to be competitive in, and then when we get out in the world and the people that are already working in the institutions are at their fucking jobs using ChatGPT so they won't get fucking fired. But Full Sail University is gonna get paid more money not to have to update their internal system, not to waste any extra internal cert resources to make us viable and competitive in the market when we leave the school. No. Let's teach them some fucking bullshit that may only get them somewhere for the next 5 to 10 years. Let's just do that and penalize them for actively engaged in learning the new tech, cutting edge technology. Because in computer science, what's new and innovative is what you should always be learning. That's what you should always be being taught. But the instructors don't fucking know because, like me, they're fucking dinosaurs. They don't know. They don't know how to use ChatGPT because they have a bias against it because they know that it's going to displace them, and it pisses them off that it can do in a couple of seconds what takes them hours to do themselves, even at their mastery level of coding. So there's a lot of animosity and prejudice there, a lot of resentment. And then the second part is it makes them obsolete as educators. I don't need you to teach me how to use ChatGPT because ChatGPT can teach me how to use ChatGPT. So why would they invest energy into learning, into teaching software that can teach you itself? Why would I help you learn why would I help you learn a tool that makes me obsolete? Why would I do that? And that's what I'm doing. I have a book that I put on the internet. I have a book that I published when I was in the field dealing with the Army's bullshit. When they were doing the things that I told you they were doing, I was actively engaged in trying to pursue my passion as a video game designer and a comic book writer. And I produced a comic because I couldn't educate myself alone in programming. There's nothing wrong with admitting that that you have limitations, that you have flaws as a human being. But society uses that against you. Oh, if you can't program, that must mean you're retarded. No, it literally means that I can't fucking program. How did you make the leap from I can't do this to I'm a fucking retard? How did you make that jump? Aren't there things that you can't do? Does your inability to do these things mean that you are also a retard? Can you quantify all of existence and that which encompasses it? Are you able to write a compelling story and form a 3-act structure and put characters on a hero's journey path and write very intimate details about what in their brain makes them tick to decide to do this thing that way and animate them in a realistic way? Are you capable of any of that? No. Does that make you retarded? No. It just simply means that you're lacking in a skill set that somebody else has that you simply don't have. And that's all that has ever meant. That's all that has ever meant. Right? So that's the foundation of my 2 cents. The only reason why I'm recording this externalized bullshit isn't because I don't have anything better to do in my life, or because I'm trying to get the school in trouble, or because I have this need to get on social media and have this epic presence so that I can. No, none of that shit is relevant. None of that shit is fucking relevant. The only thing I'm trying to do is go to school and get the BAH from the government that is owed to me for successfully putting up with the shit that I described in the Army. That's the only reason why I'm in the fucking school. The school gives me $2,300 a month to be here. And it is unfortunate that I have to sleep in my car, but I'm not doing anything illegal. Nothing that I'm doing is illegal. Nothing that I'm doing is wrong. Nothing that I'm doing is unethical or immoral or illegal. So why do you have to disrespect me every night, treat me like I'm a criminal every night, and try to find a way to win in a competition that doesn't even exist? Because the only thing you're gonna do is what? Like, you explain to me in the comment section, what does security gain by chasing me off the property when I am a full-time student? What is their goal in that? What do they gain? How does that somehow make them better at their job? Or what sense of validation do they get out of consistently disrespecting me? What? I don't care if the people around are calling and saying there's this weird guy. And you know what you're supposed to do as security and police? That's a student that is dealing with a lot of issues in life, and he's requested that we leave him alone, and we're respecting his wishes and leaving him alone. You're safe. You're fine. If he jumps out of his car naked and flashes his dick at you, call us. If you see him drinking alcohol and is intoxicated, call us. If you notice that he gets out of his car with semi-auto weapons and a trench coat and is trying to shoot the school up, call us. If you see him fucking asleep, we're fully aware that he's asleep trying to make grades. Leave him alone. Don't call us. There's nothing suspicious about an American sleeping in their car. We have normalized that in society, so there's nothing suspicious about it anymore. Don't call us. That's all that has to happen. That's it. And if Full Sail doesn't want me in my car, they can give me $4,000 so I can pay off my eviction so that I can get an apartment at the speed that they want me to get an apartment. Because if they don't want to do that, then they have to fucking wait while I work a full-time job and attend classes full-time and manage my finances while living out of my car so that I can do the things that I said that I'm going to do. And that's what My 2 cents is about. My 2 cents is about the commitment that I made to myself at the beginning of this year to run a 40K to 100K at the end of this year so that I could teach the principles of science. That's it. Nothing else. I have not gotten distracted from the objective that I have set forth for myself. It has been a year, and I have been actively engaged in keeping that commitment to myself for no other reason than myself. That's what you guys should be tuning into. That's what we should be talking about. You should be asking me questions about, hey, how's your run going today? Hey, how do you feel? What is your cardio system like? How do you this? How do you that? How do you manage to always maintain the level of vigor and endurance and the positive state of mind required to be able to keep up with this regimen that you've established for yourself? Those are the things that I want to actively be engaged in so that we can move together to get shit fucking done. That's it. If I had the money, I could just pay people to the games that I'm designing. If I had the money, I could just pay people to do them. When I was in school, I have been designing all my life an all-female fighting game called Ebony Fighters. It is going to be the most epic video game that has ever been produced because you can't teach creativity. You can sit somebody in class and teach them how to be compliant and complacent and follow orders, which is all academic systems do any fucking way. The whole goal is for you to be in compliant and being complacent and be a part of the system. And that's why they fuck with me every day, because sleeping in my car and enjoying my life and having fun is not in compliance with the system. The system wants your homelessness to be a scare tactic to everybody else. But these students leave the school and they see me and they're like, that's not a bad idea. I bet he saves a lot of fucking money. But the idea is stupid. There's no benefit to being homeless if you're going to function in society. It's counter fucking productive and a waste of energy. But I digress. I want to design video game, all female fighting game, Ebony Fighters. No matter how intelligent I get, I will still need a team. The only thing I need is the money. That's all I need. I just need the money, and I need to pay the right people so that I can see my vision come into fruition. And right now, all around this country is a bunch of miserable ass programmers that wish that somebody would pay them to design my game. They would love to be working on my project, but they're not in a position in life to do it because of the way the society is structured. And society is structured the way that it is so that the powers to be, as far as corporations, make sure that us at the bottom, those of us on the ground level, will never rival their power. We will never be able to be in a position to be able to grow at a level where we can You think Microsoft wants to train its own replacement? You think Microsoft wants to teach a generation of kids, your generation, how to come into the industry, create enough displacement to make something so freaking epic that people stop using Windows computers and then use your system? You really think you're going to go to school and learn how to do that? You really think that the ideas that you have, if you take them to Microsoft, that the guy that has been there for the last 30 years of his life came in when he was a 20-year-old intern and has endured every fucking day, and now that he's 45 and almost 50, my age, you really think you're going to come to him at the age of 25 after graduating from Full Sail and say, I have this idea I want to implement? And you think he's going to say, yeah, the last 20 fucking years, I've had this idea that I want to implement, and I've climbed the corporate ladder, and I have reached the point where I can implement my idea. But you know what? Let's hear your idea. Because when I came to my peers when I was your age and told them about my ideas, they was willing to hear what I had to say, and they was willing to do what I wanted to do. So yeah, tell me your ideas. Let's do what you want to do when you're 22 to 25. Let's do that. And fuck my vision. I'm gonna just throw my vision out the window. I didn't get a chance to do what I wanted to do in the last 20 years of my life. But you know what? I'm sure your vision is better than the one I've been carrying around with me for the last 20 years. Put your vision on the table so we can do what you want to do. You think that's how life actually works? You think that's the way that this system is structured? This is not how life works. This is not how it works. That's how it's supposed to work. It's not how it works. The best ideas, the most profitable systems, the things that are going to be the most innovative and the most diverse and is going to actually give some level of change is what's important. That's why you see in Disney and in Marvel and all these other industries a decline, right? And the decline is these people have been warned by the executives that are old and antiquated and outdated in their 50s and their 60s, telling these younger generations, these 20 and 30-year-olds, don't do that because it won't fucking work. Don't do it because it won't fucking work. And those young people, my generation, were like, well, it could work. You just don't have vision. And the older generation is like, it won't work because you don't have vision, right? So they produce the entire industry of things that we have all around us because we didn't want to fucking listen. We didn't want to listen. So they created the entire world that we see around us. And now they're dying off. We're getting an opportunity to do those things that we had wanted to do. And guess what? Shit's not working like they told us it wasn't going to fucking work. There's nothing wrong with that. The problem is, even though it's failing, even though all these corporate executives at Disney are failing at their job because of their seniority, because of their tenure, because of their relationships with other people, and the unlimited resources that they have from the generation before them, building that company from the ground up, they're allowed to just keep pumping out bullshit that they had already been told won't fucking work. And here I am working at Arby's with vision and creativity, not able to get from where I am to where I want to be because of this simple ass hurdle: being homeless, sleeping in my car. One fucking hurdle. I can go anywhere in this country and get a job tomorrow because I have a criminal record and I'm military. I can make $20. I can be in the state of Washington or the state of Georgia or Texas or Mississippi or any fucking wherever you live. I can be there tomorrow and be working right next to you because I am just a worker bee. I spend my whole life working 2 jobs, paying child support, not making enough money in life to get any fucking where. But I still have fucking vision. I still have a desire to do more with my life than to just keep making money for somebody else that don't fucking care. For what? I'm gonna go to McDonald's and get and work and make hamburgers to do what? To do fucking what? The industry's saturated. We're not growing these companies so that they can expand and make sure that everybody has an opportunity to be able to eat McDonald's. We're not trying to bring cheaper, high quality foods to every corner of the world. No, these corporate execs is just trying to make as much money as they can while paying us as little money as they possibly can for no reason other than so that they can sit around at their own level and laugh and joke about how, yeah, I made 2% more than you did. Yeah, I bought 3 yachts yesterday. For what? And society just burns, and we just continue to be complacent and compliant. For what? Like, what is the long-term goal of the direction that we're moving in life? What is the long-term goal? I don't know. Do you know? I don't have the answers. Do you have the answers? So, like, what are we supposed to do? What is the long-term goal? Because I'm frustrated with just bullshit. I should only be waking up every 3 days, turning on my camera. Yeah, it's time to this run. Let's talk about science. Let's let all that happy-go-lucky stuff you guys expect. Hell, be entertaining, tap dance. Like, how the fuck am I supposed to tap dance and be all happy and entertaining when I got security sitting in front of my car with the lights flashing, waking me up, fucking up my rhythm? I can't even sleep because I'm dreaming about fucking lights all fucking night. The car is completely blacked out, and I'm still seeing the fucking lights. I'm still seeing them, because if I'm asleep and you're sitting there with your lights pointing at me for hours and hours and hours, day after day after day, and the shit gets burned in your subconscious, now I'm just dreaming about the shit. Now I'm just dreaming about it. For what? Like, and how does that benefit me graduating Full Sail? How does that help in any way, shape, or form me as a student be successful at Full Sail? And I've already tried talking to the police. I've already tried talking to the security guards. I've already tried talking to the directors. They're not going to listen. No one's going to believe my story about leadership peeing in eggs. No one will ever believe it. No one will ever fucking believe it. But the most important thing is, it makes you untrustworthy now. If you're a leader, if you pee in eggs, your leaders are going to lie and say that didn't ever happen. I don't know why he would make that shit up. His boss isn't going to do any fucking thing, because you think that if I went to my first sergeant and said, my squad is peeing in eggs, and he just fed all those eggs to the soldiers, do you think that first sergeant wants to have to deal with all the fucking bullshit that goes with that fucking paperwork? How many people ate the eggs? How many soldiers were victimized by this? How many soldiers have to be given compensation? How many soldiers have to be reprimanded? Who's responsible? Who knew? Who didn't know? There's an investigation. I have to file the necessary paperwork. Like, who wants to be dealing with that? Nobody wants to be dealing with that. So even if I went to my leadership and said, hey, I'm 35 years old. I'm just new to the Army. This is what I saw happen. The very first thing that they're going to say to me is, why did you let it happen? Why didn't you stop them? Why didn't you say something to them? Why didn't you communicate to your leadership or to them that they needed this or that they needed to do that? Blah, 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 blah. Why you didn't, as a PV2, why didn't you correct your battle buddies? Staff sergeants are not my battle buddies. Sergeants are not my battle buddies. Sergeant first classes are not my battle buddies. It is not my responsibility to tell them what they're supposed to do. But anybody that has any level of understanding of the way the military works understands exactly what I'm saying. And if you put yourself in a position like that and you do the right thing and you go to your leadership and you tell your leadership that this is what happened, this is what I saw, this is what they did, you know what they would have done to this PV2 Emerson? What the same thing the security is doing right now. Made us some fucked up ass shit and got me the fuck out of the Army as fast as possible. So then I wouldn't be walking around with a general under honorable conditions. I would be walking around with an unhonorable discharge, because it would have been unhonorable of me to tell the fucking truth. And I could rant for another hour or two, but I'm not going to. I'm going to leave you guys with that, because that's the relevance of what's going on. So when you see the videos pop up and you see me walking up to fucking security guards, not saying shit, filming their cars, filming their lights, zooming in on them, zooming back out on them, making straight lines to them, coming back from straight lines to show you that I've already explained this to them 2 months ago. I've already explained this to them 3 months ago. Why the fuck am I on somebody else's property that I'm not contributing anything to? Right? Why am I parked over here on somebody's property? Somebody owns this plot of land that I'm in my car sleeping on, not giving them rent. Why am I there? First question, why am I there? Second question,
Why isn't the police arresting me for trespassing? Why am I not being arrested by the police for parking on somebody else's property for trespassing? Second question. Third question. If I get fucking shot in the middle of the night while I'm sleeping on somebody else's property trespassing, why the fuck would I not be shot for trespassing on somebody else's land at 2 o'clock in the morning sleeping in my car? And then when you see the news, Full Sail student shot, found dead somewhere random, we don't know what happened, and then they zoom in on the Full Sail teachers. Well, what happened? Why was we don't know. We tried to help. We did everything in our powers to reach out, and we did everything in our powers to try to assist him. But, he had a military background, and, there was some weird stuff going on with him. We're not sure exactly what happened or how it happened. It's just a tragedy. It's just a shame. But guess what? All of the money that they got from me being from the VA, they still got that shit. They still got that fucking money. And my dream died with me over there somewhere because this property, the one that I'm paying money to, the people that are actually getting a fucking check for me to be here, they ran me off the property because they didn't like the fact that I was homeless. So you make that shit make sense to me. So that's the reason why you're going to be seeing all these bullshit ass videos of me recording all this bullshit ass content about their fuckery. Because there's going to be a video where I'm going to be giving my keys to my apartment because I have paid off my eviction because I'm only in school to get a fucking paycheck. You have to be very cognitive of what you're trying to do and not let anybody deviate you from your objective in life. Fuck everybody. If they're not helping you or stand out of your way, they are your fucking enemy. I don't care if it's your mother. I don't care if it's your brother. I don't care if it's your wife. I don't care if it's your husband. I don't care if it's your dad. It doesn't fucking matter. If you're doing what you're supposed to do in society, being a productive member, being honest, kind, just, being ethical and moral, and you have vision and you have dream and you have desire and you have ambition and you want to contribute to the world, which is what all of us should be doing, do that shit with maximum authority. And if the people around you are helping you, be humble and grateful that they're helping you. If you got people around you that aren't standing in your fucking way, be humble and grateful that they're not standing in your fucking way. But if you got some bullshit ass people in your life that's wasting your fucking time, being counterproductive, holding you back, nagging you, disrespecting you every day, treating you like shit, so does everybody else. Leave their asses alone. Don't fucking talk to them. Don't give them none of your fucking energy, and be ready to fuck their asses up when you ignore them, because that's what happens. When you ignore an energy vampire, they attack you. Mentally, spiritually, emotionally, financially, whatever they can do to try to come at you so they can suck as much out of you as they possibly can is what they're gonna fucking do. Don't give their asses any fucking quarter. Don't give them fucking quarter. I'm not saying that you gotta be a fucking psychopath. I'm just saying that look them in the eye and draw the fucking line. We are animals on this fucking planet. You let them know that this is the fucking line. You're not gonna fucking cross it. This is the fucking line. You're not gonna fucking cross it. And then once you do that, if they fucking step over that line, you take a step back and say, this is the new line because I am a sentient, sapient human being and I'm trying my best to be fucking patient. This is the new fucking line. Try me. When they step their asses over that second line, you fuck them up. Fuck their asses up. Because if there's one thing I learned in the fucking army is that aggression is necessary when it's fucking necessary. You be patient, you be humble, you be compassionate, you be kind, but you defend your fucking life and your rights with everything you got in you because nobody fucking cares. And anybody that's gonna challenge you on that is willing to take it from you. And when you know that they're willing to take it from you, your desires supersede theirs. What you want supersedes what they want. Because there's no fucking reason for it in this world. There's no fucking reason. These police officers coming up in this parking lot, harassing me and threatening me with their fucking presence with a fucking pistol. When I have memories in my fucking head of low crawling with semi-automatic weapons, even if I never went down range, you think I'm fucking scared of a police officer? You didn't think that I was trained to move toward fucking combat?
I'm still a soldier at the end of the day, even if I never went down and got deployed. I don't have this bullshit ass, weak ass, civilian ass mentality when I see authority that I want to bow down and fucking submit. I fucking outranked the police when I was in the military. If I was to ever come into the city as a specialist, they would be fucking taking direct orders from me. I would be telling them where they're gonna go and what they're gonna do. And guess what? The highest rank in the military is what? A civilian. So if I outrank their asses when I was in the military as a specialist, I still outrank them as a fucking civilian. And that's just the way this is just gonna work. And when you stand in that position, sometimes you sound a little off, sometimes you sound a little crazy. Doesn't fucking matter. The only thing that matters is your capacity to do what it is that you're trying to do with your life, in opposition to everyone else's capacity to do what it is they're trying to do with their life. As long as you're not trying to take advantage of the person next to you, you're fucking good. And I'm sleeping in my fucking car because the only person that owes me anything is the school. And I will get them to pay me what they owe me for the compensation of what they're receiving from me, because I know my fucking worth.